So in this section, we are going to talk about subsidence. In other words, what could happen underground that would make a building do this. So let's revisit our mental picture of what's going on here underground. So we have our land surface, we have our unconfined aquifer, unconfined because there's no barrier above it. We have our water table here, separating the saturated zone in the ground from the unsaturated zone. And over here we have a well. Big tube going down and continuously pumping water out. Well, as it pumps water out of the ground, it's going to cause the water table to go down near the well. In other words, all of the soil up here, the ground, is going to have less water supporting it than the stuff over here. So if you continued pumping water out of the ground for an extended period of time, well, you've taken away the base of support for the soil here. So it would start to compress, start to compact. And as a result of this compaction, the ground surface would actually start to lower and start to lower down into the ground, a process that is called subsidence. We have a subsiding ground level. So subsidence, this process, can actually have a dramatic effect on an area. So this right here, where I have my cursor, is where the ground level was in 1925, and all the way down here is where the ground level ended up in 1977, after about 50 years of pumping water out of the ground, somewhere called the San Joaquin Valley in California. So in total, this is going to be about 9 meters of total subsidence, right? We can see it's about 30 feet total. In other words, it's going to be about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these guys, maybe 6 feet tall, stacked on top of each other over 50 years. For the people who live there, this is a huge change caused by this use of groundwater. Okay, so what is our definition, the full technical exact thing? A gradual settling or sudden sinking of the Earth's surface owing to subsurface movement of Earth materials. In this case, the subsurface movement of Earth materials is the compaction, which is caused by the loss of groundwater, ground sinking. This is a bad thing. If you own a house on ground that is subsiding, unfortunately your house is going to be worth a lot less. It makes the real estate value go down in that area, and it's not something that is just limited to, California. It's something that has been known to occur all over the United States in more or less, and most of these issues, about 80%, are going to be caused by depleted groundwater, the uninformed, not so careful use of groundwater resources. So one of the reasons why I have a whole section on subsidence here is because this is a big issue in Arizona, right? So we look at our map of southern Arizona here. This is going to be the amount of subsidence that has taken place since the 1940s, right? All of these different areas. And this area here, all right, if we're looking at Phoenix, you might notice the highways we're looking at. This is covering West Phoenix area, including Glendale. It's actually fallen a full 20 feet since then. A huge amount of land, more than 1,000 square miles, that is affected by this, up to 20 feet total of subsidence measured. So this is one area in Willcox, Arizona, southeast of Phoenix, close to Highway 10 here. And you can see this is where the land level was at in 1969, and this is how far it has fallen up till 2018. What is the takeaway here? Improper use of groundwater hurts property values. Right, next section is the cool stuff, caves, caverns, and sinkholes.